after today, I am curious, what are your takeaways? What was really the moment that brought you a wow and like opening in your energy field, or something that is not um routine, like kind of brought you something in a place of unexpected opening. Yeah, that's the word. I'm just looking for the word. That's why I'm using a lot of words, but it really feels like an opening. So what was an opening and what was a takeaway for you from this days of August of Abundance in the VIP session? If you would like to share, any of you, please unmute yourself and let's share. I'm very inspired.
Um, in VIP, you get more answers than only listening to the transmission. Transmission more explained. The question from other people also, you can learn from it or pick something out that's also resonating for you. Some question you don't even think about, but you hear the other say it. So it's bringing more than just, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like some things, even the things they shared and the things they were not in the answer, but just started to unfold in my energy field, also was like things that I didn't expect, because I received, yeah, we asked questions and we received some answers, but meanwhile the answer was coming, I got also some extra openings of that answer, and like, and this is why this is happening like this, and and this is why this is happening like this in my own life, or in my view, related with spirituality or consciousness or sacred geometry of how the existence and how the creation is. So I agree with you about that. Anybody else would like to share? The space is open.
I think that all these channelings have been amazing in different ways, really. I'm so grateful to be here too. But this last question I asked was really powerful and not expected. I was asking about my guide team, and they don't want to say exactly it's these guides, but they gave me an activation in 5 different channels in my body. With that, amazing experience. So I'm curious to see what happens next. I will do this for a few days and open the flow in these channels in the shoulders, so crown chakra, the third eye, and the heart.
Wow. Yeah, I'm also very curious.
Yeah.
Before they mentioned the shoulders for you, I started to feel there is something heavy on the shoulders. And then
Mm.
after activating, everything started to become so light. That's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt on my side. So
Yeah. Wow.
everything
Wow.
started to be like, whew, just almost like water becoming,
Mm.
like it was ice and it was becoming like gas.
Yeah, I felt a lot of energy the first second it started channeling and opening my records. It was just poof, immediately very powerful.
Yeah, 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 it was very
Yes.
powerful. Wow. Yeah, this really feels like beautiful miracles we are all together witnessing and experiencing here. I think that also makes this space very, very special. Thank you so much for your sharings. If there is any other sharing, we still have, I think, a little bit time. maybe Octavia and Maggie, but I don't see them. Oh, we hear the music. Okay, then we are complete. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, true. You're right. You're right. Yeah, today for me, the question of how to tap into the abundance in the ways that I don't think and expect. It was again, okay, this was really the things that are happening are absolutely just little pieces of puzzle that comes into my awareness and my consciousness in my reality. And a few days ago, again, these things are happening very funny in a funny way. I never ever checked my Facebook. A few days ago, by accident, I opened my Facebook and I saw a friend of mine shared on Facebook this beautiful dress. She had this beautiful dress, like a princess dress, and she had a crown. And she talked about, I am stepping into being a queen. I am a queen now. And I decided and I claim it and I declare and decree and declare it. And she said, a lot of us women, especially, we are not stepping into this part of ourselves and we are waiting for something else to happen, somebody else to say it for us. But it is really all about declaring it. And I was like, wow, this is so powerful. But I didn't share this with anybody. I was just saw it. It was just a little moment, and I just closed my Facebook after that. And then when I asked about abundance, I received the continuum of this. It was like, it was just so, I don't know, it is for me a cosmic thing. Everything just is happening in the way unexpected, but it is expected as well right now. Because this is happening so much lately. I'm just like, yes, I see. And it feels like God is making sure that I don't miss the point, because maybe I see it and I miss it, just 1 second, and Facebook, my friend shares, like, no, this is also for you. If you see something, if you witness something, it is also for you. So that is so powerful, how connected we are, how connected is our blooming, and it is just happening together, because it is not a coincidence that we come to the same energy field. We are in the same Zoom, or in a presential way, or in a virtual way, doesn't matter. Our awareness, our attention is here. So that is really the most important thing. And our attention is really being confirmed and directed divinely, I feel. So it is so special to be here and to be in this fractal of reality. So thank you for sharing the timeline, the space, and the time with me. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. So wonderful. Thank you for being my partner in divine. That might be good instead of crime. My partner in divine. I love it. Well, welcome to the final transmission day of August of Abundance. Thank you for all your sharings. Thank you for all your questions in the VIP. I learned so much because of that, because of you. It's really nice. So thank you for being curious and wanting to learn, and being here, contributing with all your wonderful questions. And I'm amazed. I was yesterday at the beach with a friend, and she asked me, how are you doing lately? What's going on in your life? And I was talking about this event, and I was just like, I'm learning so much from your questions, from the transmissions. Wow. So all of you, this is a co-creation, It's not just Akashic records flowing through me. This is a co-creation. We're all in this together, co-creating. And because of your wonderful questions, there's so much amazing things coming through. So I want to thank the VIP, especially for being with me. That was really awesome. And the session of today, they wanted an extra session. They really wanted an extra session. They were like, yes, we have talked about all of these abundance principles. We have stepped into the Lionsgate portal. We have shifted our identities. We have talked about at the eclipse about the unseen realm and how the unseen realm can help us. And then yesterday we had a wonderful transmission on the plant kingdom and the water kingdom and how the earth is here to bring all the resources to us for our next step. All of these are incredible at their own right, but they wanted to have one extra topic in place. And I don't know what they're going to say. I never know what they're going to say, but I have the feeling, the intuition, that they want to bring all of it together into a practical way that we can live and get abundance into our lives now. The topic or the title that they gave this transmission, that's the only thing I know, is generosity and stepping into your power. And while I was contemplating generosity today and yesterday, and since I kind of know that they want to talk about this, I don't know what they're going to say yet, but I was just like, why do they specifically want to talk about this? I was also thinking about this event, and my original plan, like what we did last year, I wanted to do it this year too, was to just leave the replays available for 24 or 48 hours and then ask everybody just to come into the Sacred Alignment Academy, and there it would be forever. But somehow I see this not as a place, I don't see that as a token of generosity. I actually see that as a token of, maybe, like I know that from the business world, somehow our psychology wants to buy when something feels like, okay, this is the moment, and otherwise I'm left out. We're afraid to be left out. We're afraid to miss the boat that takes us to the promised land, right? So there's a lot of marketing stuff that actually plays onto that part of our psychology. And I just felt like, what if I just stop that? What if I just completely base everything on generosity? And it might not completely not work out, but I already feel so supported by life and by the divine that it doesn't matter if it works out or not. But I just felt like, okay, let me be generous. Let me not just put these replays available for 48 hours and then only in the Sacred Alignment Academy you can watch this. I was like, let me just leave it. Let me just make it available forever. Let me make it available for somebody that comes maybe in November, just lands upon this and just is like, oh, let me watch these 6 transmissions. Let it just be a mini course that's just available to everybody, everywhere. And it just feels so much better to do that than to follow a marketing tactic that I learned from a business teacher that has not at all anything. He's not in any way promoting experience with the divine. So that's one thing that I wanted to say. It's a kind of an announcement and an insight in one. I wanted to announce that I'm not going to leave these things 48 available. They're going to be available forever. And I want to live my life and my business literally from a place of generosity, and I want to make it a reflection of how God moves, how the divinity moves. I don't want to make it a reflection of what Alex Hormozy or some kind of business guru says to me that works. Yeah, he might have made millions. Yeah, and his tactics might work. But it needs to be feeling true to the soul. And that's one thing that happened when I was just contemplating this topic. So that's one thing I want to say to you. I also see that Debbie in the chat missed this. No problem. All the replays are available, and they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. So you can find them on my YouTube, and you can also find them on augustofabundance.com. Let me give you the link in the chat. So if you go to augustofabundance.com, you can connect with those replays, or you can connect with those replays. You can sign up for the event. The replays will come to you. The email with all the details will come to you. But the place where I keep all the replays is augustofabundance.com/ out of my head, I think it's program. Try that link. I'm going to try that link myself. Yeah, that's the link. There you see all of the transmissions in one page. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to channel the Akashic Records. Especially the Akashic Records of Divine Mind and Abundance. This whole transmission, all the 6 days, maybe except from the Lionsgate portal, but all the other days came from these 2 records. So I know all of you here in the VIP, and also if you're part of the Akashic Record School, you know how to channel the records. Feel free to open the records one day of Divine Mind or the records of abundance. They feel amazing to me. All week they have been feeling so good to me. So if you want to have more of what we're doing, you have the source. You know what I'm talking to. You know what I'm channeling. You know the techniques that I use to communicate this. So feel free to, in your own exploration, open those records, because they're really awesome and they feel incredible to me. Just streaming them, they feel incredible. So with all of those announcements out of the way, let's dive into the final transmission of August of Abundance. And Debbie, you don't necessarily have to seen the old ones to watch this one. You can just be here, and maybe after you watch the replay, do it again, and it might just land on a deeper level. But you're not missing any information. I'm happy you're here. All right, let's get comfortable. Let's take a couple of big deep breaths. Feel free to completely receive this. Listen to your whole body. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. These are the Akashic Records on generosity and stepping into your power. Oh, dear one, beautiful being of divine design, we are thanking you for your attendance and attention. We are feeling the greatest love and appreciation for each and every one of you, willing to increase your abundance. Like we have shown you, it is your divine right. You are of incredible design. And to be able to reflect that back to you is miraculous to us. Because we do not only reflect back to you the inner workings of your energy body and how they can be set up for abundance and all the possibilities that you have around you. We also see on an energy level the changes that happen in your being. We don't see your skin or your eyes or your hair color. No, we see the energy dynamics flowing through your system. And every transmission we have seen that you became into higher alignment with what you're meant to be in this life. Now, this final transmission will give you some key ingredients to not only move to where you need to be, but to be the person you need to be right now. To know that it is not necessarily a journey anymore to get there, but to know that you have all the information already. Like we shared, Earth always has given the resources, all the resources you need for the next step. Spirit and the divine light has always given you the right intuition for the next step. The only thing that is left is to step into your power and to take that next step. That's where, in your language, the rubber meets the road. It is your embodiment taking action, not from a place of striving, not from a place of I have to do this, otherwise I am not loved or I am not cared for. No, those conditioned states of being can be completely removed from your field. With action, we mean feeling your place of power and letting that naturally guide you to flow into life. Now, your place of power can be found as a physical place inside of your being. We are not talking metaphorically or figuratively. We are talking literal language. Your place of power can be felt as a place inside of your being. So then let's find it together. Feel free to take a big deep breath into your own system, a full one. And just ask your own system, bring me to my place of power. Show me my place of power. Guide me to my place of power. Where does your awareness naturally gravitate to when you say these things? So if it was not fully clear for you, because we see some in the field didn't fully understand, whenever you say such a request, follow where your awareness naturally is guided into. So let's do another big deep breath. And say, bring me to my place of power. Where your being is gravitating to is the place where ideally your consciousness is centered. Most humans have a head-centered consciousness. But most places of power, not all, but most, are actually in the body, in the heart space, or close to the heart space. Some have it in the throat, some have it in the sacral or womb. You all have different designs. It's not about finding anyone else's place of power, it's about yours. But you might notice that the place of power you just were pointed to is not the same as the place where you most of the time seems to come from. The shift from moving for where you have been coming from to actually coming from and through this place of power is what we call stepping into your power. And there are some wonderful attributes that come with that into your life. You will truly embody your own design in a completely new way. It has to become your center point. The mind needs to know that coming from this place is so much more capable handling all of life's challenges and requests than being placed in the thinking mind. But it can only be convinced through experience. So, dear mind, are you willing for the next couple of days to try this new place of power out? Are you willing to give it a nice try? Create an experiment together where for the next 3 days you make it easy for me to step into this place and be in this place the best I can be. The mind might feel hesitant, but will sure give you permission. So we would love to ask you, after permission is granted from your mind, to really go where your place of power is. To make that your new home. To make that the place where you come from. The center of your being, the leader of your system. This channel uses a funny trick to, in his imagination, draw some eyes and mouth around this place of power, as if the place of power has its own face. And whenever the place of power mouth moves, so does his mouth. And whenever the place of power's eyes want to look somewhere, so his eyes look somewhere. It's an imagination trick he uses to stay there and to not go back to his quite powerful, logical mind. So let us talk about what this shift does inside of you, because it might feel a little unusual when you truly embody what we are talking about. First of all, from this place you are intimately connected with every chakra, every energy center in your system. From this place it's easier to feel your legs, your belly, your organs, your heartbeat, your hands and arms, and at the same time you're still perfectly capable to feel your head and thoughts and brain activity. You're not losing any capability by being here, even though the mind might say that to you. You actually only gain capability. Because by being intimately connected with the whole system, you receive a lot more information. It is a misconception that only the brain thinks inside of your system. There are neurons and neuron tissues everywhere in your body. All of that is reflected in the energy world as different intelligences. These different intelligences all have very vital information to share with you. So your information intake increases. Not the information on the internet, no information of your own energy body. With a sensing how grounded you are, how much life force you have, and how to increase that. How much you're feeling worthy and confident about your next steps. How open and close you are in this current moment. If your heart is able to open or if it's protecting itself. This is vital information. Another thing that you can easily see is how much you are currently standing in your own truth or power. Once you are used to be here, you will very easily notice when you are not. And from this place, more and more light is able to move and distribute itself through your whole system. This is a very beautiful, fresh light. This refreshing energy is able to move into your whole being. It's soothing and at the same time awakening and energizing. This energy is such a constant fuel that you will not need things like coffee or other stimulants any longer just to keep up. No, you are feeling wide awake if you are in your power. And your whole body starts to let the life force flow in a way more efficient way. And for you who is listening, who is immediately embodying what we say, you might feel the shifts happening in your body. You might feel different parts of your body opening and some yet to be opened. You might feel forms of resistance, lightness and denseness. Just by staying here, automatically everything dissolves. Why is this information not widely available? We hear some of you ask. Great question. The true reason is complex. The masters clearly point to these places. But most humans out of conditioning are too mentally active, and they try to overcomplicate finding this place with the mind, not realizing that their mind is actually blocking them from feeling instantly their own power. So, There has been a lot of suppression and conditioning that pulls you away from this. And this is partly formed so because of the denser ages in which humanity is rising from, and at the same time because it was an instruction to make Earth so dense and still let people have a journey of finding a way out. We have shared before, one of the main reasons on Earth that you are here is that you can experience the journey here. Time is structured like this, so you are able to create stories. And one of the biggest stories is going from a place of density to a place of freedom and lightness and power. But what we see is coming in the next age and is already started, and is probably the reason that your soul has been gravitating towards this transmission in some way or form, is that you are knowing that there is even a better story available to humanity. And that is the story of what would happen if we all step into our power. Which stories can we then create? So instead of playing the story from density to power, you play the story from power into the unknown. Into making the impossible possible. What happens when you truly live from this place? This is the new story, and your soul is so excited to start living that story. That's why we have permission to share and point you straight to this place. Because your soul has become more excited about what happens when you are fully living in your power than the story of just getting to your power from a place of density. In your own energy field, feel free to simply remove that density that you were moving away from out of the system. Feel a beautiful, clear light wash it all away. And instead of that, allow this new story to take place. What happens when I'm constantly in my power? What can I do from this place? What can I create and contribute from this place? We know the mind gets excited, but we ask you to stay in your place of power. Breathe and land back into it. Feel free to create a gentle smile on your face if you haven't already naturally done so. Because it is good. Very good. And your being is already tuning into these possibilities. Allow yourself to be here as best as you can for the next couple of days as an experiment. After that, you will clearly contrast the old state of being with this state of being, and you will know which one works better for you, and your mind will have the proof needed to surrender to your own power. Now, what happens to the mind when you fully step into this? Because like we shared, for many, this place of power is not necessarily the mind, but another place in your body. What happens to the mind then? You might already feel a shift. The mind becomes secondary. It will not become useless, not at all. It is of incredible value, but it is not anymore your primary place of power. It becomes secondary. And what will its role then be? We see that the mind is the perfect computing power, antenna, and transceiver. Now, what does that mean? It's a perfect computer because it is able to process so many energetical bits and bytes into meaning and into ways reality is expressing itself. It is able to, from raw information, create a reality expression. It might even be seen as the reality renderer. To render a reality, you need a lot of processing power. You can ask that to every gamer on your planet. But you have an incredible processor in your own system. So, one, it becomes an incredible processor, one of its roles. Another role is an antenna or a transceiver. What does that mean? It is able to receive many frequencies, not just the physical dimension. Like we have shown in the previous transmissions, it is able to communicate with the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, etc., etc. All the dimensions are available for communication with the mind. It is the host of many of your senses, including your sixth, seventh, eighth sense, and so forth. Therefore, you can really use it as an antenna to send and receive messages, to intend. That's a great role for the mind to have, to be able to send the messages from the place of power into the world and to be able to receive its answers. Wonderful. So it will not become a useless clump of flesh and neurons. It actually has a very powerful role. Without the mind, you will not be able to do these things, but now you can. But even though it is the antenna and the processor, let it not be the leader any longer. Let you be the leader. The place of power, the light that flows through you. Divinity embodied. Let that part of you be the leader of your life and nothing else. What would happen if you do? Which stories would you create when you step in? We invite you to consciously step in. allow us to also talk about generosity. Generosity is in your genes. It's in your nature. The frequency of generosity is very linked with the frequencies we already talked about in the nature transmission. Look at the apple tree. Every year, hundreds of apples that are able to multiply into thousands and millions of apples. What a generous gesture. But even more close to you, and in the spotlight this week in your time space, especially your son. Why is it more close to you? Because it is also a being of light. It is a very obvious being of light. It is so bright that your whole earth is being lit by it. And that's just a fraction of its light. We would love for you to consider the generosity of your son. Always given. It's literally burning with the desire to give. Give, 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 give. For it, it also needs to be a great receiver, and it is. It's receiving very divine frequencies. It has the permission to roam through the universe so freely in such a exceptional geometry. And it is receiving that every moment. And by doing so, it's giving its light. Giving and giving and giving. Very generous. It's good that your son is generous. Humanity would have a problem surviving if it wasn't. But what is so beautiful about that giving is that the giving only allows it to keep on giving. Its generosity allows it to keep on shining. And it is the reason why it is shining so brightly in the first place. So you can embody the quality of generosity, where you give from the place of power to others. You do not have to overgive. There is a nuance here that we want to make sure you understand. Overgiving will deplete you, will put you into danger. Most of the time, overgiving comes from a place of not being enough. That is the mind. That is not your place of power. Your place of power knows extremely well the energy and the frequency that it holds. It knows it is divine. It knows it's made of light. It knows and embodies these frequencies. Overgiving comes from a place where you do not know that, but you just want to be loved or be cared for. Feel free, if you are an overgiver, to take a step back and take a big deep breath in. And really ask yourself, instead of giving to receive any form of confirmation or affirmation or acknowledgement, what if I give just what I feel like giving in the moment? Not for any other reason, that I just feel like it. It is that place of giving that is more in your power. Therefore, it is really good to become aware of yourself. To feel where your actions are originating from. And to then let them align with your place of power. So how does true generosity look like? It looks very freeing. You all have experienced it. It's inside each one of you. It happens when you're on the street. Every day there might be an opportunity for you to be generous. It doesn't always have to be giving money. No, it means giving what you feel like giving. You might not feel like giving money to a person that has no clue how to handle his money. But you might feel like giving him a blessing, a compliment, some of your undivided attention, a conversation, or some fruit. Therefore, the state of true generosity is a state of constant, I give what I feel like giving. I give what I feel like giving. And do not hold back in that. Because giving to people that are not ready to receive is energy that is not well spent. Instead of that, when you tune into what you feel like giving in the present moment, and you ask if it is welcome to give, and the answer is a resounding yes, then you give. You might say, sorry, I do not feel like giving money, but can I give you some food or some water? I can get an extra bottle of water for you. Would you love some water? If you then receive a yes, then give freely. And it will feel true to you. And the other will feel seen. Therefore, it is good to ask what is needed, sometimes before you give. You might even feel in a generous state, I'm so willing to give. Let me find out what is needed. Instead of just giving, give with the knowingness what is needed in that situation and what you feel like giving. It's a nuance in generosity that will completely keep the energy at play. That allows you to be in a state connected with the present moment and with your surroundings. And at the same time, it is the most efficient way to start shining like the sun. when you're present, when you know what is needed, and when you are in a state of giving that to the best of your ability, this is one of the major success principles. Every person that is successful has been doing exactly that. It has been doing its absolute best to give what was needed. You can come to us with any person of success, and we will be able to show you this exact principle in working. Giving can come from two directions. You can know what to give from intuitive nudges. And you can instantly know that if the intuition has come into your field, that you can start that process. But if the intuition at the moment is not fully flowing, but you still want to explore generosity, just ask. Ask what people need. Intuition is able to show you what people need before they know that they need it, which is really good. That's how many of the inventions are being made. Inventors are very intuitive beings, and they're able to intuitively receive what humanity needs in the near future. Artists do the same thing. Successful artists receive their wisdom because that particular song or painting or event is needed in the near future. You have that same capability. And the more you allow the giving to free flow in your life, the more that intuitive capability will open up. The more you become a respected channel for the divine to move a lot of ideas through. But when the intuition is not clearly heard, or is not at that moment necessarily flowing or active, don't worry. Ask your neighbor. Ask the people around you. Notice the problems that people are challenged with, or the request that they are putting in the air. Once you open yourself towards this, it easily becomes seen and heard. And we truly mean this. You can take a 20-minute walk into any city center with the intention to give what is needed. And you can come out of that city center with $20 million ideas. It is that freely available if you know how to listen and if you have the intention to give what is needed. It is a very selfless thing to put your own energy into the state of giving. You communicate clearly to the universe, I have enough, and I am willing to put my own life force in service to others. That state of being is one of the clearest lights of abundance. People that are in lack only care for themselves. People in abundance only care for others. They have enough, more than enough. Generosity is that vibration. It is the vibration that you can start embodying right now, that just commits to give what others need. Commits to following up on the intuition. Commits to listening to the challenges of others. And in your own genius, creates and uses your own time and your own resources to help others. You will be so rewarded by life. And it's just a reflection of your inner state of generosity. Just feel that inside of your being. Allow yourself to be again in your place of power. And just feel, I have more than enough. And I'm committing my life to solve others' problems, to give others what they need, to let them feel blessed, to let them feel that they matter, that they're worth it. That energy, ironically, will give your own life so much, because you're not worrying anymore if you have enough. You know you have enough. This is the most practical lesson that we're here to share. Just start caring about other people. And allow in your own inspiration and activity to constantly create things that are for others. The universe will take care of the rest and completely carry you with the divine hand to the right places, to the right people. The flow might stop when you start carrying enough. But then eventually you will realize again this lesson on generosity and come back and point your own pointers into the service of others, into giving what they need. And the flow will start again, and the support will come again, and the money will flow again, and the relationships will magically appear again. This whole divine flow that you have been witnessing and seen in glimpses throughout your life is a great feedback loop based on true generosity. So be truly generous, dear one. You have the codes inside of you. You know what to do. Let your power be the place of power, and let your actions be completely filled with generosity. Thank you. We are complete. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. I know we're a little bit over time. My apologies. I'm not aware of the time when I'm channeling. But it was meant to be over time, I guess, with this topic of generosity. I want to thank you so much for being part of this. Feel free to integrate it. Feel free to watch the transmissions again. They are available at augustofabundance.com. They will be available on YouTube as well. The VIP sessions are available at school.com/sacred. That's the Sacred Alignment Academy. And they will also be available there for as long as that space exists. The ones from last year are there too. I'm going to write it in the chat. And for everyone who is not yet part of the Akashic Record School, that school is where you learn to access this field for yourself that I'm talking to. It's so wonderful. Akashic Records are so crazy beautiful. It's the biggest gift of my life. I'm writing the links in the chat. School.com/Akasha. It is a pleasure to be able to do this. There is one more thing that I want to share with, especially with the VIPs, but for everyone who's interested. And that is that I got the guidance to facilitate a journey starting in September called Divine Service from Divine Surrender. And that journey will be part of the Sacred Alignment Academy. It's a container, a group container, where we truly allow the next step of service, of income, of what you're here to do, come completely from surrendering to divinity. So we're going to explore a lot of practical ways to surrender completely to divinity. And at the same time, we will prompt an intent, to let the divine service truly come to me. We're really meant to be abundant and to do what we want to do. Some people are afraid of doing what they love an income stream because they feel afraid that they stop loving it. But the opposite is true. When you do what you love and it's your income stream, you would never work a day in your life. Everything will just feel like play. Everything will just give you energy. And that's what I wish for everybody. Like, we're not meant anymore to be in this corporate kind of, only if it's what you love, of course. But I feel a lot of people are not at the place where they love yet. Life didn't fully click yet. And I really feel it's time to let it fully click. And I want to put my full service and the ability for me to channel and the surrendered life that I'm continuously living to be of service to everybody. So if you would love that, that's going to be a part of the Sacred Alignment Academy in September. But now let's just have a nice integration of August of Abundance. Let's enjoy our time. Let's enjoy the frequencies and the shifts we received from this week. And integrate. And just feel yourself and feel your power and feel all that you're, all the things that resonated and created a shift in your life. For me, it was a very powerful week, and I feel the shift very strongly. So I'm also going to have a nice weekend of integration, and at the same time celebrating someone's birthday here, my fellow Leo Queen. celebrating her birthday. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you all for being with me, dears. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, everybody in the chat. I see Jana. Thank you. Debbie, thank you for being here, and everybody else. Yeah, it was wonderful to be with you. Much love. Bye-bye.